What a year 2013 was for Arsenal. The most points, the best away form, surely the most successful since they last won a trophy. But is that eludes them, to which their supporters crave so much. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is here for talks with Vincent Tan. He's in the director's box for the game. As I understand it, a deal isn't done yet. However, as someone inside Cardiff said to me earlier, it seems to be heading that way. Stan Collymore is alongside me. Arsenal have injuries. The team is different, but does it weaken them to a level to which Cardiff will think that they can fancy their chances today to get something from this game?
Well, you're always in the Premier League. I mean, we've seen so many teams beat, David v Goliath and get away with the result that it's always possible.
The conditions aren't great, but they're not terrible either. There's a swirling wind around the Emirates on a dank and dark day, and the rain is still tumbling down in front of us. Cardiff are wearing blue today, all blue, the Bluebirds. Arsenal in their familiar jerseys of red bodies, white sleeves, white shorts and white socks. Here are the two teams. Szczesny is the goalkeeper. The back four of Sagna, Mertesacker, Koscielny and Monreal. Arteta and Flamini will hold. We think Cazorla might play in the hole, actually, with Wilshere out on the left and Walcott out on the right and Podolski through the centre. Podolski, of course, back after 4 months out, his first start since returning from a hamstring injury. The bench, Fabianski, Jenkinson, Rosicky, Gnabry, Vermaelen, Bentner, Riamiachi. No Ramsey, of course, he's injured and out for a little while. No Özil, who's still going to be out for a couple of weeks. As far as the visitors are concerned, David Kerslake has made just one alteration to the side that were looking in control against Sunderland to the back end of their game on Saturday night. Marshall, who made some crucial saves in that game, stays between the sticks. Kev McNaughton comes back from Bolton, where he's been on loan. He joins Corker, Turner and Johns in the back four. Medell and Kim will hold, with Noon, Much and Whittingham behind Fraser Campbell. Hudson, Cornelius, Smith, Gunnarsson, Cowie, Maynard and Joe Lewis are on the bench. Our referee today is John Moss. The two captains, Arteta and Corker, go through the formalities in the centre circle. And Stephen Corker calls over every single member of the playing staff for Cardiff City into a huddle inside their half. They're shooting from right to left in this first 45. They go into that very much now well-rehearsed circle inside the half away to our right in front of the clock end, and try and G themselves up for what is a huge test. Ball picked up by Cazorla, turning away from Medell, trying to find Flamini, ticks it round the corner. Little tackle in there from Whittingham, and they win it back, Cardiff City, and a chance to break possibly here. Collected by Much, onto Medell, the Chilean. Out to the right side, and Noon. Noon starts to scamper towards the Arsenal defence, who are on the back foot now and retreating to the edge of the area. Noon with a delivery, deflected into the air by Flamini. Great at closing down and destroying on front of his back four, and Arsenal run it clear of the edge of the penalty area. Pops off of Kim's chest, and Cardiff win it back. They pick up the loose ball on the right side with McNaughton. Back in field it comes again. And then Kim goes all the way back to halfway, and Corker, who's sitting right at the base of that back four. We can
just looking, the surface isn't helping at the moment, Sam. Lots of rain has been, well, it was teeming down before kick-off, and if you see, it's dragging. This isn't helping or aiding Arsenal's passing play at all. They're trying to play nice and quick passes, but the revolutions of the ball have been slowed down by virtue of the fact of it's just too skiddy on there. Cardiff, that'll suit them down to the ground, because it's flattened and softened the tempo to what I would say 50-60% of what a Premier League tempo should be.
Cazorla takes the ball off of McNaughton down the left side. Decent cross towards Walcott. Far post, dives in and slides the ball goalwards. It goes wide of the upright. David Marshall stands there. He knows it's going wide, and it bobbles into the side netting, and it's out and away for a goal kick, but that's a good move. The ball has been placed 5 yards outside the box. Left of centre, a chance for Bakary Sagna to curl this one right-footed. Bakary Sagna just teeing up this free kick. There's a four-man Cardiff City wall. David Marshall is bobbling around on the edge of his 6-yard box. He's just gone back between the sticks now, just glancing over towards this near touchline, and Sagna will just take a couple of paces back. He approaches the ball, right-footed, straight into the wall. I think that hit a hand, did it? Referee didn't give anything. And on New Year's Day 2014, where it's Arsenal top of the tree as Big Ben chimed midnight, but at the moment needing points to get back on top above Manchester City, who won earlier today. Sagna wrestling with Kim on this near side, across towards Koscielny. Koscielny forward to Flamini over towards the left-hand side. Lovely little step over Cazorla, and darting into the box is Monreal. Low cross across the 6-yard box, but no one there. It was just a little bit too far in front of Podolski and Wilshere, who were arriving late, and the ball fizzed across the area. Sagna has recovered it on this right side. Gives it to Wilshere, into Sagna. A little touch forward by Cazorla, tackle by Kim, and then retrieved by Much, and then Campbell is dispossessed by Mertesacker, and Arsenal have it back again.
Yes, they're just getting a real foothold into the Cardiff half, to the point that every single Cardiff blue shirt and of course the yellow goalkeeper David Marshall are all back in the half. This is what Cardiff don't really need, is to be closing the ball down, lifting their head up and having no target further forward.
Wilshere right side, plays the ball to Cazorla, strikes it left-footed edge of the area and fizzes the ball wide. It's about 5 yards clear of the left-hand uprighters. The goalkeeper looks at it. Good move on the edge of the area, but I just noticed that Cardiff just retreating like they did towards the end of the game on Saturday night to the edge of their own area, defending very, very deep indeed. And David Kerslake, the former Tottenham man, of course, was out trying to just cajole his troops further up the pitch. Now here's Jack Wilshere, marauding to the edge of the area, looking to get a shot away. Releases Podolski instead, gets the return ball, can't turn past the first defender, then goes down under Gary Medell's challenge. No penalty, says the referee. Waves his arms.
Firmly, very firm. Lino, ref were both on the spot. The referee, as Jack Wilshere broke down the left-hand side of the D into the 18-yard box, should have pulled the trigger for me. Instead went for a little pass, received the ball back on the 1-2. He went over under a challenge, but the referee was 4 or 5 yards away. Had a little look at it. Let's have a look. We can have a look. No penalty for me at all. Jack has a little trip, and for me, that's absolutely not. Let's have a look again. Jack Wilshere drives into the box.
That's a penalty.
No, not for me. Not for me.
Well, I think you'll find what happens is he goes past him, and then Gary Medell's back foot comes back again, and
wasn't conclusive though. Wasn't conclusive.
I don't know. Here's Arteta picking the ball up midway inside the Cardiff half, sends it wide to Walker, takes it infield, then tries to chip the goalkeeper, and it's a yard over the top. He came in on his left foot, then struck with his right. It went through the middle of the goal, and he tried to lift it over the top of David Marshall, but it was too high.
I think the last 30 seconds has illustrated the ability of two things. One, as an away side, don't give the ball away cheaply. I think it was Ben Turner. He's on the edge of his own 18-yard box after that Jack Wilshere move. Gives the ball away to Arsenal in a very dangerous position when they've already got 4 players in advanced positions. Theo Walcott drives to the right of the D, looks to chip the goalkeeper. I thought actually he might put his head, his knee, his thigh over the ball. Really looked to test him with his zippy surface, but went for the chip. But there again shows Arsenal at their very best. They almost lure you into a full sense of security, and then bang, 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 3 quick passes. They're in on goal.
That throw-in comes in quickly towards Wilshere. Wilshere back to Monreal. Monreal tries to get the ball back infield into a central position, finding Flamini. Flamini to Cazorla. The Spaniard looks to unleash and then does eventually shoot, but it's a poor one. Hits Walcott and flicks into the air. Cleared away by Craig Noone. High under the floodlights. Per Mertesacker misjudges his header and then brings down Fraser Campbell. A referee plays on because Much has picked up the advantage, and he's darting towards the Arsenal area. He gets into the box now, takes it wide left, gets a shot away across the goalkeeper, pops off of his knees, and he can't get the shot ricocheting back towards a blue shirt, and Arsenal managed to get the ball away. But here come Cardiff again with Noone down the right, cutting in on his left foot, producing across towards the far post. It's over Campbell's head, it flies out of play, and surely now John Moss will take action against Per Mertesacker for trying to bring down Campbell and playing the advantage, and he does that. Yellow card.
I thought that was an exceptional counter-attack by Cardiff. They've soaked up pressure, they haven't been able to get out of their own half. Ball goes up to Campbell, just a clearance again from one of the centre halves. He's fouled, that is no doubt, but that's good refereeing to allow play on. He sees Jordan Much within touching distance. Jordan Much picks the ball up on the halfway line towards the left, drives towards the left-hand side of the 18-yard box, does a couple of little step-overs and gets the shot on target. Exactly the man that you want supporting a central striker. When he's done the donkey work to hold the ball up, Jordan Much is as good as there is at travelling with the ball.
Flamini just plays the ball back short towards Wojciech Szczesny, who then has to slice his clearance straight out of play because he was under pressure from 3 blue shirts bearing down on him. Declan John has the ball in his hands, halfway inside the Arsenal half, on this near side, the left. And he throws it into Kim. Kim returns it, gives it to Medell. Medell swirls the ball out to the far touchline, controlled by McNaughton, who scored a goal for Bolton Wanderers just before Christmas. Plays the ball on towards Kim, who's inside the area, being tracked by Koscielny. Shuffles it wide right, a chance to cross for Noon. It's a decent delivery. Much is up there, so is Fraser Campbell, who tries to dart on the edge of the 6-yard box. Oh, that's a missed punch by Wojciech Szczesny. The ball's still loose in the area, and the referee's given a free kick in Wojciech Szczesny's favour, and I think he's a little bit fortunate to get that. Wilshere turning round Medell, playing the ball into Walcott, getting a 1-2, getting it back onto his left foot, shooting towards goal, blocked brilliantly by Corker. Excellent defending by the former Tottenham man, and it goes out a player on the far side and out for a throw. Fraser Campbell has just put himself into quite a difficult position for Arsenal to deal with, in between Koscielny and Mertesacker, and they almost conceded a corner from that situation.
And again, the value of having somebody like Gary Medell in the holding role is that he's very mobile and very aggressive. Whether or not we'll see it, and plenty of people will get to see it later, whether it was a penalty or not, he was in the right position to be able to put Jack Wilshere off. And that's happened 2 or 3 times when Arsenal have moved the ball around the 18-yard box, that he's been the pivot, he's been the key, he's been the man that's mopped up in front of his back four, and he's going to have to continue that for 90+ minutes if Cardiff are going to get a positive result. They've got 2 things, as I say, in their favour: the fact that it is still raining and the surface is slow, and also the tempo is very flat.
Left Cardiff on the attack down the right side. Noon into the area, pumps off the hand of Nacho Monreal.
Just starting to ask 1 or 2 questions now. I mentioned that the tempo isn't high enough for an away side to be put under the cosh consistently by Arsenal. They're getting their big deep breaths, they're nice and warm, the Cardiff players, and they're starting to become a little bit more emboldened. Arsenal need to up the tempo and start to see off this Cardiff City side, otherwise they will grow, and they do have 2 or 3 players that can hurt you.
Well, there was another shout for a penalty there. Craig, Noon playing the ball against Monreal, might have been a little bit too close for John Moss, the referee, to give it. Wasn't much chance of him getting out of the way. Bush has got it again. He guides it into the area, headed away by Whittingham, and then helped further clear by Much onto Fraser Campbell, who holds it up, and another chance for Cardiff to counter-attack. They do have speed to do this here, and here's Noon with McNaughton on the right side, Campbell in the centre, Noon approaching the area, shooting from the edge of the box, and it, as he lets fly, it just rises as it reaches the goal and goes over the top and away for a goal kick. But the idea was right, and you've just seen again a couple of opportunities where they broke very, very quickly, Cardiff, and started to threaten. Wilshere trying to scythe his way through to get it back to Cazorla, comes back through to Podolski after a series of deflections inside the area, and Stephen Corker inadvertently puts it behind and away for a corner kick. Walcott, though, trying to end the first half of the flourish. Into Podolski, nice neat turn, goes past 2 players, didn't get the shot away. It was blocked by McNaughton. Maybe could have just pulled the trigger a little bit earlier.
Theo Walcott could have pulled the trigger first. The ball comes over. All right, he's now Marco van Basten, but it's in a much closer position on the right-hand corner of the 6-yard box, and the ball is floating towards him in a very good position. Take it, top of the foot volley. He can score from that. They've still got it in the 18-yard box, though.
Arteta sprays the ball out to Sanyu, nods it down to Walcott, back to Wilshere, edge of the area, further back to Arteta, who tries to return it back to the Englishman. Away by Ben Turner, comes to Walcott, edge of the box, takes it wide. Sanyu now approaching Kim. He gets the shot, the cross-come shot towards the near post. It's blocked by Kim, and it goes out for a corner down in front of us, which Theo Walker will take. Walcott places it in the quadrant. He's got Sanyu in the centre. Mertesacker's there too. It's in towards the near post, but it's a poor delivery by Theo Walcott, and it bundles up and hits the hand of Kim again, and the referee says nothing, and Cardiff clear with Campbell into Noon, and then Campbell is being pulled back there by Sanyu on halfway, and then the counter-attack fizzles out and comes to nothing, and John Moss, the referee, has surely got to take action about Sanyu when the ball goes dead, because that was blatant from Bakary Sagna. It was a cynical attempt to pull him back and stop him from joining in the counter-attack.
Arsenal have dominated possession and territory, but Cardiff have defended resolutely and at times have looked threatening on the counter-attack, with Jordan Much and Craig Noon especially lively, but the chances have fallen to Arsenal. 3 of them for Theo Walcott, couple for Cazorla, and Lucas Podolski perhaps with the best in stoppage time when the ball got trapped under his feet. A little bit more sharpness perhaps from the Arsenal centre-forward, and that would have been a goal. As it is, in miserable conditions, it's half-time, Arsenal 0, Cardiff 0.
Here's Monreal down the left side. Low cross takes a deflection, pops up to the edge of the area. Cazorla comes back to Sagna, who volleys. Cazorla and Sagna were waiting for the ball to come to them. It wouldn't come down. Eventually Sagna took charge and he whacked the ball towards goal, but it was with a small degree of accuracy, and it flew into the stand behind and away to our left. Corner to be taken on this near touchline by Sandy Cazorla. Mertesacker up from the back, Koscielny up from the back, Sagna Podolski lurking with intent. Walcott causing problems. There's a flick on by Mertesacker at the near post. It drops towards the far post. Goalkeeper wasn't too sure, but it drops the wrong side from Arsenal's point of view and out and away for a goal kick.
Absolutely love that corner when it's taken. Santi Cazorla whips it to the near post. Basically, you have Per Mertesacker, a huge man that starts on the near post, and he just jogs 2 or 3 yards towards the near side of the 6-yard box. Everybody's moving towards the ball. You get a good flick on, and actually it was quite a heavy contact, but still nonetheless, you saw the way that David Marshall was reacting, is that it bypassed all of his defenders, virtually all of the Arsenal attackers, and he had to deal with that situation.
Here on the right side, the ball is with Sagna. Sagna infield to Flamini. Flamini takes it towards Walcott. Walcott now approaching Declan John before darting infield, giving it to Wilshere. Wilshere laying it off to Arteta. Arteta sweeps it to the left. A chance for Cazorla. Low pass into Podolski. Gives it back to this left side again, and Monreal. Monreal into Podolski again. Tries to spin around the defender. Plays the ball towards the near post. And I think it might have strayed over the line and gone away for another corner. It has.
Good play. Better from Arsenal now.
Cazorla towards the back post. Rising was Podolski. It's still bobbing around the edge of the area, and it pops up, and Marshall has to come and snatch it from the sky ahead of Theo Walcott, who was hanging around trying to cause problems for the Cardiff back line. Here's Noon down the right-hand side, trying to take on Monreal. Chipping the ball into the centre. Surely that was handball against Monreal.
That is absolutely handball and a penalty, as clear as you are likely to see. Craig Noon down the right-hand side of the 18-yard box, whips the ball, and how on earth the referee doesn't give a penalty to that one, God alone knows. Stonewall.
Well, keep an eye on your monitor there, because it'll pop up in just a second. My only question mark would be, was it inside the area or out? It was definitely handball from the vantage point that we're at. Here come Arsenal at the other end. Down the right with Sagna, bursting into the right wing position. Slide tackle from Ben Turner, brings Walcott down. Walcott holds his left shin, and the referee produces a yellow card and gives a free kick in Arsenal's favour.
Well, we're just starting to get a game on our hands now. Cardiff have come out and counter-attacked. I want to see this again down the right-hand side. No, it's the showing of Theo Walcott. That's a great challenge by Ben Turner. Down the outside of the 18-yard box to the left, comes away with the ball. No intent to hurt Theo Walcott, yet the referee decides to give him a yellow card. Crazy decision. Here's the other one. Penalty.
I think it's outside the area.
Oh dear, oh dear. Let's have a little look. So Craig Noon gets to the byline. That's inside. That's a penalty. It's an absolute penalty. Yeah. No question whatsoever. That is a penalty, because the player actually holds his left hand out. It isn't one of those where his body position dictates his left hand comes out. That's to stop the ball. That's a penalty.
Agreed. Walcott to take the free kick that we told you about on that right-hand side for Arsenal. It's a crowded penalty area. It's lifted in towards Mertesacker, misses him, skips through, travelled a really long way, and eventually Campbell gets it clear. One back by Cazorla, out to Sagna. Sagna is on this near side, the left. Whips the ball in right-footed, away by Peter Whittingham. It's collected by Flamini. Flamini, who's finding Walcott on that right side, and Walcott looking to try and run at Kim. He goes on the inside of him, then the outside, then produces a decent cross towards the back post, and it's flicked away by McNaughton and out for a corner, and the pressure is building.
It is, and the pressure is building from the left and the right. I mean, this is Cazorla's third corner now in as many minutes. Theo Walcott doing well down the right-hand side, teasing and testing. Declan John gets to the byline, holds the ball up, well defended at the far stick by the Cardiff City defence.
Here is the corner. Cazorla to take it in towards the centre of the 6-yard box, comes out to Walcott, who shoots. It takes a deflection, comes off of Kim. Kim then lifts it out towards the near side, and he scampers the ball away towards this near touchline, out for a throw, which Cazorla will take into Wilshere. Back to the Spaniard once again. He tiptoes towards McNaughton and into Wilshere. Decent turn inside the area. Gets to the byline, tries to pull it across. Slide tackle comes in from Much. Out for another corner. Cazorla, edge of the area, getting to get the shot the way. Instead, he gives it to Podolski. He shuffles it out to the near touchline. Monreal back to Cazorla once again. All very tight on the edge of the area. Lots of blue shirts inside the box defending. Corker's there. So is Much. McNaughton does well. Corker smashes it clear, and it's chested down by Koscielny, who under pressure from Fraser Campbell, who's pressurising. Whenever the two centre halves hold the ball inside the Arsenal half, and they have to get it all the way back to the goalkeeper.
This could be a telling phase of the game now. Be surprised at all if Arsene Wenger doesn't make a substitution, because Cardiff looking as if a little bit dishevelled, a little bit on the rack, defending the edge of their own 18-yard box. Fresh legs, fresh minds might come off the bench and seal
Cazorla
this.
Down to Wilshere in the left channel, across the face of goal, misses Podolski, past Walcott, comes to Sagna, still can't convert it, and then Much goes down on the edge of his own box and wins a free kick. Marshall been booked for Cardiff City. Fraser Campbell has just gone in on Wojciech Szczesny and won a corner kick away to our right. But Wojciech Szczesny, I thought, was going to react and complain that it was a high challenge. He didn't. He got straight back up and started to arrange his troops in front of him. That was a hefty challenge when the ball, to me, looked as if it had already gone. It hadn't. He's out for a corner kick over on the far side, and here comes a substitution. Gunnarsson on. Off comes Gary Medel, the Chilean midfielder, the pit bull. He's been ratting around the Arsenal midfield. So far, so good. Things have been going well. Here's the corner kick. Now dangerous from set pieces, Cardiff City. Whittingham with the delivery, aimed in towards the near post, away by Murdasaka, comes to McNaughton, gives it to Kim, goes back to Declan John on the edge of the centre circle, and he clips it down the left looking for Whittingham, who can try and keep it in play. Here he does, beautiful control, first time ball into the area, away by Flamini, and then further cleared by Sanya, only as far as Kim, who controls. He's got it back again for Cardiff. On the far side, into Noon. Noon trying to dart in between two red shirts. Walcott with a really good tackle. And then Podolski tries to play it back to Walcott. Far too heavy a touch. And it's out of play and away for a throw-in to the Bluebirds halfway inside opposition territory.
Well, Cardiff City's best spell of the game. Arsenal had all of their bodies back in their own half. We haven't seen that very much in the game, and particularly in this second half of football. But Cardiff do need to be careful of gambling too many bodies forward. Always one for taking risks in football matches and going to try and win a game. But you have to make sure you take care of the ball. They gave it away, and if Lucas Podolski midway through his own half had have had the wherewithal just to pop a lovely little 10-yard pass to Theo Walcott on the right wing on the halfway line, Arsenal were looking to it on the counter-attack, but the passing was off.
Wilshere trying to take the game by the scruff of the neck at the Emirates. He shoots left foot in, it almost clatters the post. I think the goalkeeper got something on that too.
Did. Just his right hand shut Wilshere. It seems to be a lot going down that left-hand side, Arsenal.
Podolski off, Bentner on. And will Nicholas Bentner yield his second goal in 20 games for Arsenal? Matthew Flamini also off in that substitution, which has seen Thomas Rosicky come onto the pitch. Here on this near side, the right, Aaron Gunnarsson vying for the ball. He wins it for Cardiff and tries to send Noon down the right touchline. Noon was off balance and across came Monreal, and he scooped the ball to halfway. Bentner with a header, hair tied back in a ponytail, nods the ball into Sanya's path, then continues his run to try and lead the line as Walcott darts down the right. He gives it to Rosicky. Rosicky going one way, then the other, then sends the ball into the path of Sanya. Sanya can't get the cross away. It's out for a corner, and corner to be taken for Arsenal on the far side, the right. Flipped in by Walcott into Bentner. Bentner rises, gets the header on it, but Turner manages to clear. It breaks to the right once again. Here's the Czech international Rosicky finding Walcott. Decent delivery, looking for Mertesacker. Oh, he's glanced it wide. It was a free header on the edge of the 6-yard box. He got the contact perfect. It was venomous, but it was off target.
Well, he's done well from set pieces, Mertesacker. He's in an exceptional position when the cross comes in, Sam. You have to say there is no blue shirt within 2 yards to his right or to his left. If that's a striker, it hits his forehead, it goes back towards the goal. What he tried to do was, he thought that if he cranes his neck, if he really shows that he wants to win the header, that it's going to end up in the back of the net, and more often than not, it skimps off the forehead and goes wide, and that's exactly what it did. A defender's header in a very good striker's position.
Cazorla approaching the area on this near side, the left. He slaloms to the edge of the box, then has to give it to Arteta. Gets it back again and will have a second bite of the cherry. Monreal is overlapping. He produces the cross. It's glanced away by the defender Turner and then put out by Declan John for a corner kick. Here's Mertesacker with another free header from the corner kick. Another decent delivery from Theo Walcott on the right-hand side. He's waiting at the far post. He's there just to nod the ball past a stranded goalkeeper, and he sends it wide again. Walcott bursting through the centre. Across comes Declan John. He just about dispossesses him and puts the ball out for a corner. Cazorla shoots towards the near post, takes a few deflections, but it's easy save by David Marshall. Drops to his right. He's placed the ball down 2 yards outside the box. It's left of centre this, so midway between the middle of the penalty box and the near edge, so a good 6 or 7 yards in from it. A chance for the right footer to get it up and over the wall and maybe down towards the near corner. Walcott with a 4-man wall to beat, steps up, right-footed, does exactly that, and it lands on the roof of the net.
Very nearly, very good, almost deft with the touch, Theo Walcott. almost a little clip over the wall.
Rositzky into the area, combining with Walcott. Walcott goes down, and he is screaming at John Moss and saying that was a penalty. Why have you not awarded me one? He got up as soon as he went down and went bursting towards the referee to appeal for a penalty kick. And Cardiff are making a change. Tireless work from Fraser Campbell up front today. Hasn't had much service, hasn't had much joy, but he's run the channels, he's made himself available, he's pressurised Koscielny and Mertesacker. He's ambling off here, which is infuriating the Arsenal support. And John Moss is encouraging to get to the touchline, and then he very quickly slaps his head as he walks off the pitch, which endears him to the Cardiff supporters. That's their little symbol over in the far corner away to our right. And Nicky Maynard comes on to replace him.
I think the Cardiff have been exceptional in terms of their discipline. I mean,
work rate has been superb.
Yeah, sometimes they've been outplayed, but that's going to happen to lots of teams. But they've still managed to maintain their shape and their focus.
Don Cowie finds Kim. Kim turns and fires a shot towards the far corner. Maynard complaining that the ball to him was on down the right channel. It should have been given to him. It wasn't, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our right. And Maynard has picked the ball up and he's run towards the edge of the area after robbing Arteta. The ball has bounced towards this near side, and Noon's picked it now for Cardiff. He then darts towards the edge of the box. Koscielny stands in his way, and Cardiff win a corner, but Arteta almost causing Arsenal to concede very late on in the game with a really, really poor mistake. Peter Whittingham with a chance from a set piece to create something there. Is there just a smidgen of hope amongst those Cardiff supporters that they might nick all 3 points here? Whittingham towards the far post, Turner arriving, goalkeeper nowhere, drops to Don Cowie, edge of the area, just feathered away by Theo Walcott. Comes back to Kim. Kim now, edge of the area, left side. Approached by Sanya, takes the ball away from him, and then all the way to Declan John, who from the left side of the Arsenal half lifts the ball into the area. Corker with a header, breaks for Corker inside the box, tries to volley the ball goalwards, claims it came off an Arsenal player, it didn't. And it's out and away for a goal kick.
Getting on their feet now, just feeling a little bit nervous and edgy.
Sanya with a header down across the face of goal, cleared off the line by Corker here at the Emirates. Another chance for Arsenal that goes begging. Corker off the line, and Arsenal struggling to find the breakthrough. And there's still a threat at the other end from Cardiff, and the Arsenal fans are getting a bit frustrated. Here's Rositzky. Can he do something about it? Gives it to Walcott. He gives it away. Frustration, but he wins it back. And now he's free in the right side and got a chance to cross. He does deliver in towards Bentner. He misses a header from 2 yards out.
Great cross from Theo Walcott. For once, Pete Whittingham in a left-back area. He's been penned into that area for large parts of the half. Can't clear his lines. It's a gimme. Walcott takes it to the byline, crosses it. I'm not sure whether actually Bentner ducked
Rositzky, Cazorla, Rositzky again. Goalkeeper comes out. Brilliant save down low with his legs. David Marshall gets something on it to take it away from the Czech Republic international, and it pokes behind and away for a corner. And Arsenal really ramping up the pressure in the closing stages of this game. Corner to be taken far side. Arsenal to drift it into the box through Cazorla. It's aimed in towards the near post. A header goes in from Lauren Koscielny, and then I think it's actually come off a Cardiff shirt last, and it goes behind and away for another corner. They're all back inside the 18-yard box trying to stop this one from going in. It's drifted towards Mertesacker, into the air and away by Corker. Still not clear. Sanya's there, Mertesacker's there, so is Wilshere. Goalkeeper comes across and just about gets something on it.
He
grabs it into the chest.
Today.
Brilliant save by David Marshall. Here's Cazorla, edge of the box, trying to shoot, takes a deflection, goes into the air, caught by David Marshall. Arsenal pressing to try and open up this Cardiff stubborn back line. Here's Walcott, played in by Bentner, turning, firing over the top of the crossbar, and the frustration is palpable around us here because they know that time is ticking away, and with results elsewhere going against them. Cazorla darting in from the left touchline. Lovely reverse pass into Walcott, who's come towards the near side. It's back out to Monreal. Decent delivery towards the far post. Header, great save. Comes back to Nicholas Bentner, and he smashes it home with a venomous finish from 3 yards out. What a belter from Anelka in the final few minutes as Arsenal leave it late to ring in the new year in winning style. It's Arsenal 1, Cardiff 0.
Well, it's been coming, they've been knocking at the door. You just thought that Cardiff were going to get away with it. Good play from the right-hand side, lovely little reverse pass. It comes back out to the far post, whipped in. Bakary Sanya with the first header, parried out by the wonderful Marshall today. Nicholas Bentner, Johnny on the spot, hits it into the roof of the net. And Arsenal look as if they're going back to the top of the Barclays Premier League.
Well, it's been a long time coming, and the Arsenal fans were getting frustrated. Some of them were threatening to leave. They're going home now, some of them. He's only got 2 goals in his last 19 appearances in the Premier League. And that is a huge, huge goal for Arsenal. Arsene Wenger wants to make a substitution. Thomas Vermaelen coming on. But maybe Cardiff are going to nick an equaliser here. Deep cross towards the far post. Kim trying to get on the end of it. Can't, and it flies behind.
Did Nicholas Bentner get injured celebrating the goal?
It's quite
he's
possible.
just look at him now. He's hobbling in front of our position here. He looks as if he's struggling. I mean, joking apart, it's a massive 3 points and for him to score the goal, but they don't want another striker.
No.
It's out injured.
I didn't see that he actually started hobbling down the touchline when you said that. And as I glance towards my left now, maybe it was in the act of scoring the goal, actually. I'm just looking at a replay of it now. Monreal lifts it towards the far post. It comes out. He whacks the ball and he lands awkwardly at the feet of Marshall. And I wonder if the two collide a little bit and he stumbles away and just maybe tweaks something as he comes to the floor. Here's Walcott, back heel from Wilshere. Chips it over the top of the advancing goalkeeper and lifts it into the net. An elegant finish. Wojciech Szczesny runs towards the Arsenal supporters and slides across the greasy turf in celebration. At the other end, Theo Walcott is holding court. He's scored a sumptuous goal right at the end to double Arsenal's lead. And now there's no doubt that Arsenal will start 2014 as they finish 2013 with all 3 points.
My name is Theo and I'm a striker, or a very good wide man that has a goal instinct. But it sounds better the first one. Just a little helped on ball, round the corner from Jack Wilshere into the path. He's going diagonally. Right-hand corner of the 18-yard box. Directly to the right-hand side of the 6-yard box. Dinks it over the keeper.
Here we're waiting on a late free kick, which Cardiff have earned 2 yards in from the touchline over on the far side. The ball's loose inside the penalty area. Szczesny comes out, makes a good save from Stephen Corker. Decent free kick into the edge of the box. It was loose inside the Arsenal box and Corker stuck out a right foot and stabbed it towards goal, and it was a good save by Wojciech Szczesny, who punches the air in delight. There's no last-minute equalisers or late goals for Cardiff here, but there were 2 extremely late strikes for Arsenal, which has taken them top of the Barclays Premier League.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of sloppiness and a killer pass that they actually had late on, with particularly with the pass from Jack Wilshere into the path of Theo Walcott for the second goal that they were lacking. They were knocking the door for so long. 2 good headers from Mertesacker. They were the most likely to score. This wasn't an even game. It was very lopsided in terms of the possession for Arsenal. But Cardiff defended very well. I thought the centre-halves were very good. Full-backs were very good. Whittingham, Kim, all very good, and they'll take the applause rightly from the away fans to our right-hand side at the clock end, and put in a very good performance, which whoever the new manager is, if it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or anybody else, can take plenty of positivity from.
2 big chances for Per Mertesacker before they went on and scored. A penalty shout for both. Nacho Monreal handling on the edge of the area, which could have yielded Cardiff a penalty. Their interim manager, David Kerslake, may well have just seen his last 90 minutes in charge, and he goes over and applauds his fans away to our right. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer expected to take the reins before their game against Newcastle in the FA Cup at the weekend. You know, the best things at New Year's parties never happen until right at the very end, and Arsenal experienced that today. It's finished. Arsenal 2, Cardiff 0.
Beckham crosses from the left, right-footed, it's a clear header, and it's slipping into the net. Solskjaer has won the European Cup for Manchester United. It's absolutely astonishing. It was Sheringham who headed it on, and Solskjaer stabbed the ball with his right foot into the roof of the net, and Manchester United rule Europe. I don't believe it, but it's happened.
Well, there we are. He did it for Man United. Could he do it for Cardiff? Let's speak to the BBC's David Ornstein, who's been following the story, and Ben James is with us, the co-founder of the Cardiff City fan blog View from the Ninian. Ninian even. Good evening to both of you.
Good evening.
Right, David, let's start with you then. I mean, in terms of the latest, where are we? It's not a done deal yet.
It's not a done deal just yet, but as we all saw, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was at the Arsenal match today. And talks. He sort of flew in from Norway earlier today and was put in a car straight to London and straight to the game for talks with Mehmet Dalman, the chairman, and Vincent Tan, the owner. He was actually flown over by Vincent Tan's private jet, of all things. And the talks seem to have gone pretty well, because he would not have been at the match and sat with Dalman and Tan if those talks hadn't progressed as planned. So I think it's just a case of ironing a few things out and getting towards a conclusion to this. But it seems he will be the new Cardiff manager. We just need to wait for confirmation, and then whether there'll be a press conference in the next day or so.
Yeah, there was a bit of a frenzy, wasn't there, when they got out of the car and they arrived at the stadium. They did seem to be at ease with each other.
Yeah, I mean, the key thing here is that Mehmet Dalman, the chairman, has sort of smoothed this relationship over. There have been talks ongoing over the last few days, because obviously there was clear concern from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer of how his relationship would unfold with Vincent Tan, given what he's seen and what he's been told of what happened with Malky Mackay and Vincent Tan. But there will be money available to spend in January, and a lot of money at that. So I think that probably helps smooth over the situation. And as long as they agree clear parameters and both men know what their role is, and Solskjaer's given assurances about Tan and whether he gets what level of involvement he takes in matters, I think it should be okay. But this is a big opportunity for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's not managed outside of Norway before, let alone in the Premier League. And so all eyes will be on how he can turn this situation around and hopefully bring some good news to Cardiff after what's been a pretty bad month.
Yeah, Ben, we spoke to you when we knew that Malky Mackay had definitely gone, and you were quite philosophical about things. So it seems now it is very likely it will be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But actually, you weren't at the game today, just to start with that.
No, I wasn't. I had a ticket to the game, but with everything that happened with Malky Mackay and what was going on at the club, my enthusiasm for kind of the football side of things had taken a bit of a hit. So I decided not to go to the game today and give my ticket to somebody else who would prefer to go to the game, as it were. But maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming in will raise my enthusiasm. I'm quite happy with him as an appointment, and I think that if he, like as David said, then if the parameters are sorted out between who does what and who's got what role at the club, I think he could be a great appointment for the club.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen those pictures as well of Vincent Tan and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer there, and there was a bit of interest in what Vincent Tan was wearing today.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, it's odd that he's chosen now to start wearing the blue shirt, and it was interesting to note that before the game against Arsenal, the social media event that was for the away game had a picture originally of Jack Wilshere in the red shirt of Arsenal and Gary Medel in the yellow shirt. And in the last few days, that changed to a blue kit, and we obviously wore blue at the game today. So I think maybe that the attitude from Vincent Tan towards the blue kit is softening, which is good. And there has been rumours that one of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's demands in his contract is that from next season we start wearing blue again. Now, I find that hard to believe, but it's kind of pointing towards a softening towards the blue kit, which is a good thing in my book. Yeah,
David, have you heard that rumour at all? Do you think there's likely to be any change on that stance?
That's very interesting. It's not one that I've heard specifically, but what I do know is that what Cardiff fans will know already is that Vincent Tan had agreed that every single match away from home would be in the blue shirt. So he'd given a bit of ground in that sense. And also, I know he was stung. People I've spoken to inside Cardiff and close to Vincent Tan himself say he was stung by the criticism he received at Anfield during the Liverpool defeat, which was quite vociferous backing towards Mackay and protests against Vincent Tan. And it got to the point after the Southampton match where he said, I don't know if this is right for me anymore. And the decision was taken that actually Malky Mackay would go and they would see how things will move going forward. So listen, Vincent Tan has been portrayed, and I'm not taking sides here, but Vincent Tan has been portrayed as a bit of an idiot in all of this, but he is a successful businessman. He clearly is listening to what the fans are saying about him, and he doesn't particularly like it. So if he can start to change, and if he is listening to the concerns of those fans, it'll not only be a victory for those fans, but it will be a massive step forward for Cardiff City and trying to maintain their Premier League status, which above all else is what this is about.
OK, thanks to both of you. That was the BBC's David Ornstein there, who's been following the antics at Cardiff City, and Ben James, of course, the co-founder of the Cardiff City fan blog View from the Ninian.